Yo guys, what is up? It is Teachers Game 2 coming at you again with another video here, and I am here right now to show you how to build a defended platform, station, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. So what you're going to do, first and foremost, you're going to build a box. Now, it does not matter how big you end up making this thing. I'm going to use, now this is me telling you this ahead of time. What you're going to do for me is you're just going to make it a perfect box. And by that I mean square, not necessarily box, because it's not going to be a box. Now, what you want to do, the biggest thing you want to do on a platform like this, is you want to avoid line of sight as much as possible. Now, some people are like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Line of sight, all it means is that you were basically trying to prevent somebody from being able to, well, not do that, from hiding behind things in order to rush into your base with maybe really good flak or whatever they want to rush into your base with. And you're just trying to avoid that to the best of your ability. Now, you'll see right now, I am starting by putting a generator down inside of this area right here. And there is a point behind that. It's nice and sunken, so it's harder to hit, all that kind of stuff. And basically that's how you start. You got a little box with a generator in the middle. Now I'm going to go one more row out just to show you kind of, there's a lot that you can do with this, but I'm only going to make this so big because I'm usually only playing with myself or a few others, so I have no value in having a really large one of these. However, there is plenty of value in it. It's entirely up to you how you do this. Just start off by making it a perfect square, like you can see right here. Now, ooh, that is super bright. Yes, okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to continue to make boxes on the corners because you want more than one generator so somebody just can't blow into one. And we're going to end up connecting all of our generators together, and that's just going to be how we end up doing this. Now we're also going to place some ceilings on top of these, and you can kind of see how this is starting to come together pretty quickly. Da-da-da. Now I'm not going to speed through this because I already go pretty quick when I'm building things, so you guys, if you want to speed through it, you're more than welcome to. But I have quite a few tips that I'll be giving you as we go as well. So, take this Jenny right around there. Generator here. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up connecting all of these because you want to see enable power activation. So that way if one of them goes down, the other ones will pick up where the other one left off. And that just allows you to have a more defendable area, which is obviously helpful. And there we go. So we've got all four of those things down. We don't need any more foundations. That's something that we no longer need, but you could if you wanted to. Now also, one thing we're going to place right here, we're going to go 4 high with pillars. Just like that. And on each of the corners, we're going to have ourselves a mini turret tower. And this is why it's a defendable thing. Come on. No, you're not going to let me place it up top today. Nope. Looks like I'm getting the griffin. So, anyways, I'll hop on the griffin so you can kind of see what this looks like from above. Just like this. And we're going to go ahead and place this guy, maybe, on top there. On top there. On top there. And on top of right here. So, what we're going to end up making on each of these corners, just so you can see it, is a little bit of a cross. Now, the reason you're making a cross is actually pretty easy. You can actually place much more stuff on top of these, and it allows you to have a more defended little grind pad right here. Now, the one thing that we're kind of doing here is a lot of people raid things based on what they can see. In your grind pad, if you can make it very obvious that this is just your grind pad and it's not going to have anything valuable, then people probably aren't going to spend as much. Now, there will be the troll that enjoys the total destruction of everything, and we can't all lie, we've all done that before. But most people are just going to pass on this because they're going to see, this is literally just a grind pad, not worth my time. That's most people. I'm going to go ahead and make it so it's not like about to get dark here. 1 second. Alright, so it is no longer dark, which is nice, and I'll show you what we're going to do here. Keep making this stuff here. Come on. There it goes. So we're going with the T-pose again. There it goes, just like that. Now, one last thing that we're going to do is we're going to place some ladders on these guys because we want to be able to access the tops of these things. So I can't reach from the bottom, obviously, because my character is apparently short. We're going to go with this one there, that there. We'll go rotate on this side as well. And this way we don't have to really worry about using a griffin again, which is obviously something we want to avoid as much as possible because this is just a grind pad. We don't want this to be a super complicated thing. So, griffin is now down. And you can kind of see where it's starting to come together right now. We're going to go ahead and place our ladders. The remaining... What the heck wouldn't let me up there? And you just want to be able to jump up and grab it, just like that. As you can see, you only need 2 more. 1, 2. 1, 2. And obviously you can see right now it's starting to look more like a grind pad. Or at least a defended one, which is nice. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead, place our walls back in here. We don't need pillars anymore. We no longer need foundations. We still need a couple of ceilings, so we're going to go ahead and keep those on us. We are going to need the verticals at some point, probably. Maybe not, you never know. I'm going to go ahead and grab all these guys because this is what we're going to use for our turrets. I'm going to grab some of the other stuff that we need. Some of these fabbies. We don't need any cookers right now. We do need at least 1 Indie Forge, and we'll talk about why. You can grab 2. It's entirely up to you. I typically only grab 1 because, again, it's me. And we're just going to grab everything that we need for this. And just so you can see, I've got a bunch of stuff in here. I don't necessarily need all of it, but that's just how it works. So let's finish putting up the defensive structure. Right over here. Gonna plop these bad boys down in here. Come on, there we go. It doesn't necessarily matter how accurate you are in placing these things, but you do want them on all 4 corners. Just like that. Let's see if I can make this jump. Ooh, I can, perfect. And get another set of 5 here. And you can start to see we have turret towers on all 4 corners now, which is going to be nice. And this is more of like a small tribes thing because usually on non-small tribe servers, people don't really mess with you, or I guess they do mess with you, but trolls are going to leave something like this alone. So I guess you could put it up on a regular server. Just be careful. And boom, ba-doom, boom, just like this. You can see the entire top will end up being loaded with turrets, which is going to be sick. It's going to look super nice, and it's going to look scary, which is kind of important. All right, so now what we can do is a couple of different things. I usually make ceilings the entire way across like this, and you don't have to do this, but this is kind of how you can place your forges. And another T, and again, we're just trying to maximize the amount of space we can afford here. And look at this, another T. You can put walls down if you really want to, but you can see this guy's obstructed. You can place him on the ground, but not up on top of these. So what we're going to do, did I just mess this up? I might need to go 1 higher. Alright guys, so I just had a little bit of a mess up. I totally forgot I'd do this. Basically don't put the inside layer down of the turret walls, because in the middle here we are going to have our cooker, or I guess whatever you want to call it, the forge, Indie Forge. Now here's where you can do this differently. You can obviously access it from all 4 corners, which is what we want. However, if you were in a tribe with more people, or you're in, like, let's say Aberration or something like that, where you have more access to metal, you can take more of these guys and place them on the sides here. And that is why I build this bigger T-pose, because you can have up to 5 of these things. It's entirely up to you if you want to place them there. You don't have to, obviously, but you could, just to bring up that point. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pretend that you can, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this down. Go grab the other ones over here. And where are they? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And this way, you can maximize the amount of stuff that you're pulling in, which is obviously what we want in this game. Wasted time is not a good thing in Ark. So, come on. There you go. And place it as close as you can to the middle one, so that way you can access here, here, and here. Tons of capability here. Now one last one right here. Back it up into the middle. Just like that. And you've got yourself a pretty nice, I guess, nice looking little grind pad. Now what we're going to do, just to prevent people from blowing up that middle thing as a tempting thing, I usually take some walls, and I'm going to need these anyways, and I place them on the outermost layer, just like this. That way people can't just blow this middle section right here, which is obviously what we don't want them to do in a defended grind pad. And next thing right here, and next thing right over here. Now, the reason that we build this one up, and a lot of people don't like when I do this, and it's okay, I understand this is an opinion-based thing. I don't necessarily care if my grind pad is a common target for somebody, but what I really do care about, is it not going to let me place these? Well, you guys know how to place doors. So, and as you can see, that is that, and that's just how you do it. So, now, right here, we've got all this stuff. Now, the reason I have it one above is I don't want to have to walk around in order to access this stuff. I just want to be able to look up and grab what I need. Now, obviously, that's a good thing in most cases, but not always. What you're going to do right now is you're going to take your fabbies, and we're going to place one on the outermost corner of every single section here. That way you can have different sections of how you do things. It's entirely up to you, and you can see that there is a reason to place, you can place it in safe space underneath these ceilings and under these things, which is why I'm doing it this way. Not only that, but it looks pretty cool, and you look, I guess that's one thing that I enjoy. I like the aesthetically pleasing stuff. All right, so you're starting to see it come together. Now we're going to go and place our smithies down. I usually place these on the inside corners, obviously, as you can see me trying to do right now. Just like this. And yes, you will still be able to get inside this door. Maybe not. I need to pull it back just a touch. You do want to pull it back just a touch so you don't have to obviously worry about getting inside the door. There, just like that. Now I can access it still. Place this guy here. And look at that. You've got a pretty successful grind pad because I can now look at the Fabby and access my cooker at the same time, which is really important. Now, there are tons of different things you can do right now in order to make this thing a little bit more defendable, and a lot of, I guess, up to you how you want to do that. We're going to go back up top, and if I place these things right, which I'm pretty sure I did, just like that, I will still be able to place myself some of this. Because I want as much defenses on this thing as possible. I just want to prevent people from just being like, ooh, let's just hit this thing for fun. And as you can see, that's pretty defended as of right now. We'll put turrets up so it looks a lot more terrifying in a second. But we've got all the basics of what we need. Now let's say you're a little bit more advanced, and some people are, and that's cool. I usually, now this is up to you, I will have myself a transmitter on one side, and I'll have a vault right here and on the other side, so that way I can put stuff in there. Entirely up to you again. And on the opposite side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have myself, there we go, a grinder. Now grinders are super useful. If you've never used one before, you need to get one. They really are helpful. And again, the point is to save as much space as possible. Grinder, transmitter, fabricator, smithies, and you can kind of create this into whatever you want it to be. You can personalize it to however you want. On one side, you can have yourself your little cooking station, just like this. And place them sideways so you can have more of them here. Oops, not what I wanted to do. And boom. Now we've got a cooking corner, a transmitter corner. We have ourselves, or, no, it's on the other side, a grinding corner, and then you have this space over here to do what you'd like to do with it. I usually put chem benches or something like that over here, so we can go look at that right now. Maybe I didn't bring any. Oh well, you get the point. Now, another thing you could do, if you're more advanced, entirely up to you again, just place down a couple of things nearby. Now, this is for those tribes that just want to be able to place this, for example, if you're on Aberration, where you can have tons of stuff, and it's not that hard to accomplish. This is not something that you need to worry about. But if you're okay with placing down, oh man, it's not going to work for me right now. Please work. I would appreciate it. Sometimes these things are a pain in the butt to place. But oh well, you get the point. You can place a transmitter or a teleporter down, and then you can just like hop back and forth between your base. Now, all of this being said, it's nice and all, but let's worry about the turrets now, because the turrets are some of the harder parts of placing this stuff, and let's show you how to place them all. And we're going to go ahead and put them up on top. I didn't want this, but we have heavy turrets, which is what we want, and we're going to go ahead and up on top. And how you're going to place these is 3 per, and you can place more if you want to, but most people aren't going to be placing that many more. 1 on each corner. I like to make them face outwards so it looks kind of, oh boy, so it kind of looks terrifying, but it's entirely up to you. That's just something I enjoy doing. Again, I like building things that are aesthetically pleasing, so that's why I do 3 on each corner. Now, I will only put 2 up, or make you watch me put 2 up, because obviously it's something that you're like, I know how to put a turret down. I get it. No big deal. So I'll bring you back in just a second here. Alright guys, I am back. As you can see, I did end up using a tech generator just because I didn't feel like routing all the power, but you just basically send up your electrical cables through those pillars, and that's how you access power to all of your turrets. Now, one last couple of things, because it's almost complete. We're going to go ahead and take our, as you can see it, chem bench right here, and how I usually place them, there's a lot of ways to do it. We're going to go and take them right up against the smithies, because that way you still have access to looking straight up and pulling everything, which is obviously what we really want. And you can access a whole bunch of different stuff. So this is a super, I guess, advanced, optional grind pad, because it's super defended, and it really is a long-term grind pad. You don't really need to change much about this once you hit end game. So if you start setting something like this up, it's a really awesome design. Now, these vaults, you can place them however you want. What I'll usually do, and this is something that I do, I take them in the corners, like I have right here, because we're trying to save space. Place them in all the corners. Now, obviously, sometimes you block a door, but you can easily place the door somewhere else. You see my point anyways. Now, this grind pad has literally everything you're going to need, end game, beginning game, and basically you can start by building one of these corners and build your way into the middle. It can be an early or a late game thing. It's up to you. But, however, I guess the reason that I make my grind pads like this is because I basically want to make them nice and open so people can see that if they're going to rate it, this is what you might get. Because most people are going to be like, I'm going to pass on that. Because there's not too much here other than just basic grinding stuff, and people don't raid for grinding stuff. People typically raid, not always, but typically, they're going to raid for your BPs and all that stuff. And usually people don't have them in their grind pads. Now, sometimes that's the case, but it's got everything you need. I love this style of grind pad. You can do whatever you want here, tech generator, regular generator, whatever you need. So, all of that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, I'm like, hey, how do you do this, or what do you think about that? Let me know. But other than that, Teacher's Game 2, out.